Hello everyone, and welcome, I guess, to a tutorial because I'm getting asked for this on a daily basis. I'm going to show you a very simple way, as fast as I can, explain it as best I can on how you can make a tile for aim W. So obviously you need to open your Roblox studio. You can use like empty place if needed. Or just a place where you have, area your save file or whatever really. I'm using an empty place so you can have like an empty sky and everything, so you have a better view of what I'm doing. Hopefully everything will look nice, and if I miss anything, just let them in the comments. First off, if you're curious how can I make the exploring properties show up, if you want, I have not really done this, is go to view, explore, and you should have explorer and properties up. Command bar is if you do. I want to test out scripts, and toolbox is this bar over here. Let's bring tiles on obviously here. Let's say you have to find something called Wrestling 2X Arena Import Module. This is very helpful for anything at all. This is the first thing you have to put in. Just click it. If you're on Roblox Studio, you'll probably get this message and just press OK or don't show again. But I'll probably just have it like that, so I always know how much script, if there's any scripts. I recommend not pressing and don't show again. You get plenty of tiles already ported in. You can ignore the arena search. I'll probably cover that in another time. Let's just cover the tiles. You get plenty of tiles free up in here. You can use as examples. Now you're like, how can I change this to something I want? Now you have to find, let's say, your tiles. Let's say you're using some AWGP tiles. Just put them in like that, and you have your tiles in here. Bring any of these tiles just to a comfort position. You can have a vision of them. And let's say I just need one of the tiles. Well, go to home. You'll see a group and ungroup. It'll automatically ungroup all of it. It'll make stuff easier. And you can just move all of this to a corner somewhere, and it'll be fine. Don't worry about the anchor at all. Now, next part is a bit trickier. Next part, what you have to do is go to module, and you should see somewhere. Show wheels. This is extremely helpful because green means it's active. If it's gray, it means it is not active at all, and it's holding them together. And I don't recommend playing too much hard with this. So the best part is, let's say you press Alt, holding in Alt, then you'll automatically find a part of this, and you're just gonna click it, and it'll automatically pick it. You can take it out with that move tool, and then you can just slowly fix it up like this. Otherwise, actually, make sure before you move it, make sure these are on, so it's all easier. You can turn move slot eventually all to whatever number, but for now this makes stuff like rotation easier. And I usually like to use transform. This is an underrated feature because you can see how much rotation you're doing. So you can see, I just need to use one on all the rotation. So it makes stuff easier for rotation purposes. And it's a lot more feature on this, but I personally just use it for rotation. Here you can turn this off to make it more accurate where you want this to be. Once you have that on, you have to, in a way, make two of this one right here. Don't forget to press Alt and clicking it, because it's still in the module itself. You can take it out, but I recommend just having it in so it makes it easier. Next, scroll down until you find name of the name of whatever it is, and name it to whatever you want, like front plate. Makes it easier. Now, a more advanced one I personally recommend If you just go back to the tile, you press on the plus, and you search up folder once you get this up, and get folder. This makes it easy to organize your stuff. I recommend doing this so it's way better for you to know what is what. So you can drag it with the Explorer over here. Once that's sorted out, you have that in. You have to duplicate this, which I recommend, and take it down. And make sure you have it still clicked and you have properties open. I'm gonna just make this bigger so you can see what's happening. In here, you'll see mesh ID. Do not touch this unless you know what you're doing. This is mostly if you want to replace whatever this is looking like. So if you're making your own for a model you have, this is like something you have to put in here. Let's say you're gonna have your own tiles. You have like all these files, objects that is like more complicated, but this is a more easier version of it. If your tile does not have, like, let's say a decal, when you're like no matter how many times you're clicking on it, and it looks like it has three dimensions like this up and down, you'll look at texture ID. This one you can just remove. This will make it completely gone and completely like black, which you kind of need. Next, I recommend taking on scale now and make it slightly bigger than the original. Not by much, but it's like so it looks like it fits, you know. And you can fix this on how big you want later on. Now, just find a nice size that you think looks good. If it's like too big, obviously, you can just make it smaller again. And you don't really worry about like how it exactly looks. Just make sure it looks good for you. Once you sorted that out, it looks something like that, and you can just take the folder as it has both of them already selected. Like I said, it makes stuff easier, and you can just move it down. Actually, before you do that, I recommend click on this and take this build constant. Let me just move this properties down. This is important. This is also a bit confusing at the same time. You don't have to worry about these much. This says what is what. This is what it is. A is connected to B. Take it like that. So this is what you have to like pick. So click this and find whatever is not like your front, like this one. And now this one is connected to a belt center, which you want that. And you can just, this one is not really needed anymore. Move it to, is it the correct one? Make sure it's obviously on the correct, plate. That's correct. And make sure you also do this check on the belt center. Okay, and then it is active, it's just being weird. It's on issues, it should be an issue. Make sure you have belt center. This is a very difficult one. This one you don't really want to like touch as much. This is like a holy sacred, do not touch no matter what. Now, you'll bump into something a bit scarier. For this, I recommend taking these two, making sure all this looks good, and what is connected to what, and all of them is connected to belt center. Now, this is a scary part. Personally, I can just like put it in, but this is an easier one. This will, if I explain how you can do that, it'll be way harder. So the best way you can do this is take this mesh ID, whatever, if it has mesh ID, copy it, Control C, go to belt center, and paste it over. I'll maybe put it in, and you have the size already. So I'm going all the way down, find the sides, go to belt center, and paste it in. And boom, it is in. You can do the same with this one instead of doing it like that, but it's way easier doing one than the other. Once I sorted that out, you can just delete with oh wait. Almost did the wrong thing. We just move this like this, and boom, it's sorted out. Make sure you find like the as middle as you can really get. And that's mostly it. You can do this and do the same for all the sides, like you have done with the front. Don't really do the front and back on the corners. Like let's say you're just taking this, copy and just gonna move this like this. Oops, wrong rotation. Make sure it's like around. Find your like degrees. This seems to be at 20. Be as straight as possible. You can really find, and make sure it's like fits the whole like plate itself. You take this and just like do the kind of the same thing with the front plate. Let me just do the side plates. So you know how exactly it does for all the side plates. So just find that one and call it side 1. For now, I'll just do this. Make a folder. Naming it at the moment for tutorial purposes, I'll just name it left. Is it left? No, it's right. Well, at that moment, naming however you wish to really name it. You can name it right, you can name it left, you can name it side 1 or side 2, whatever you're like more comfortable with. Make sure you click on the correct wheel stand and find side. Do this. It's connected to side 1. Move it to side 1 and see what's connected to what. This one is connected to front strap 1 and belt center. So do the same with side 1. Move it over. Check what is here. This one is not connected. Well, it is connected to front. I click it on side 1. I guess I might as well tackle that. Now, if you ever bump into something, if it goes like this, I recommend just going back and like you did for the belt center, you do it with this one. If you bump into an issue like that, so we'll just go as much far back as you can really go. I'm being a fucking idiot at the moment. Apologies, everyone. So, I messed up a lot. I've been figuring like, what the fuck is it? What's happening? What is happening? It seems like I fucked up badly. Now, you have welded it, but there's a problem here. This seems to be fail. I did a small mistake. Apologies. What you have to do now is find that and paste it in a way that makes sure part 1 and it's all. Make sure it's correct. Otherwise, that's gonna be tough. Correct one. Just do that, and automatically these two are locked together. Should be locked. And side 1. And this means this like is forcefully connected. And you can delete this. And imagine doing that for all of them. Now, the tricky part here, and the more evil part, is now you have done that, you cannot, and no matter what, do not resize it like this. You cannot do a resize, otherwise, if you look over right here, once I resize it, it usually breaks. Unless Roblox fixed it. I think Roblox fixed it. Okay, Roblox did fix it. Before, you could not resize this manually at all. Otherwise, Roblox would have, broken it, and you had to like do it all over again. And you can just resize it to a comfortable size where it fits inside, mix it so it looks good, and if you want to I want to make sure it actually looks good. Go to module, remove the show wheels, and boom, you'll see, hey, that looks actually pretty good. And make sure you do that for all how much corners you really want, or how many corners there are here. Now let me get to the coloring part. Let's say I want to change the coloring or the texture of the belt. Now, I recommend putting on a group for this. Group the tile, because usually sometimes Roblox can like break it. So group it, move it up somewhere as high as you can like want it, a few sizes up, so you have a better like overview what's happening. You can then ungroup it or Control U to do it faster. Now you just hold Control Alt and then you click on these. I remove not having move on because you might fuck up. You select one at a time all of these you want to color, and you can go for brick color or you can go for color here. If you want like specific color, you can use on paint on whatever, paint.net, paint, Photoshop, whatever you're really using. And you can pick a color you like. Let's say I want it like this color. Yes, but the texture is still there. What you're gonna do is go to material and you find dozens of textures. Maybe I want asphalt. That doesn't look as good. I want basalt. Oh, that looks better. Maybe brick is good, and you can just slowly, like one at a time, find the one you really like, and find like the as perfect you want. Of course, doesn't really go, but what people usually go for, if I can find it, is metal. This is a very common one because it looks shiny and all. Another one that people also use is a smooth plastic. This is another one that I've seen people use. It's mostly actually just focuses on the color itself, makes it as smooth as possible, and makes it like really nice. Whatever you do, it's like how you wish. Make the tile how you want, color it how you wish, and that's all. Is make sure to name the tile to what you want. Let's say EVGP. For this, I will call it this test. So I can like make it easier for myself to like, in case people are trying, because I might forget to remove this. Oh yeah. Make sure, let's say your text tile or whatever title you wish named it is on tiles in the folder tiles. If you don't have folder tiles, I recommend going to server storage and replicate the storage and make the folder in there. Let's say just folder, and you can call it tile. Make sure it's big T, like I did not do, and post it in here, and let's move this here and post it in here. In case of emergencies, which it can happen, it's also just make one in the server storage itself. Usually Roblox is weird and breaks these folders and wants you to change the name of them, because before it was belt, now it's tiles. So I recommend do that in case something goes wrong. So now it looks good, it looks perfect, and nothing else really needs to change much. Now you're in your place, whatever it is, which I'll probably have somewhere in the corner how you can publish your arena. You can do either open chat and give me and your tile name, which whatever the name of the tile. Mine is test, or you can press the, I'm not sure what it's called. It's kind of like a colon thingy and you just do give me test, and boom, it'll appear. And it will work perfectly. And hopefully this was helpful. If there's any issues, I'll do my best to make a follow-up, because I feel like this has been probably the most straightforward, like how you gonna do it, because I have not seen any details on how. Or people explain, and people have kept asking me how. I'll see you all much later, probably, or whatever you're really. Have Have a wonderful day.
You have shown me the light. It's a brand new day and the sun is high. All the birds are singing.